So, hello everybody and welcome back. As you can see, what I've prepared here is Fleetcommander Nimitz, the 1942 campaign. For those of you who have watched my unboxing, you may remember that actually all of the chits had fallen out of their sprues in transport, so I basically was left with a huge mess of counters, which I also then couldn't scan. And after carefully going through all of the tables with the setup, I've actually discovered that some counters are missing. I've written to Dan Versen Games, they never got back to me, so I'm a bit annoyed by that, because considering that I paid £100 for this game, it's quite annoying that chits are missing and that I'm not getting the customer service that I am, I believe, entitled to, in terms of somebody at least getting back to me saying, okay, these counters you are missing, I'm going to give them to you, but no such luck. Basically, I've set up the 1942 campaign, and there are plenty of videos out there on how to set it up, how to play the game. The most recent series is produced by A Box of Delights, but we also have a brilliant nuts and bolts by Derek Case. So I advise you to watch those if you want to know how the game is played. If you want to watch me playing it and making huge mistakes and, you know, behaving like a really stupid Nimitz and probably losing on the second turn, then you're welcome to watch this video series. I have made a couple of Bling My boards. I have printed off these really beautiful battle plan cards. Basically battle plans, as those of you who have watched maybe my Alexander and Napoleon know, the Fleet Commander series is completely solo, AI based. I'm not going to explain how the AI works until we're playing, and then I think it will become quite obvious, because the way this is done is always the same. You have a group of enemy units, and in this case you see there's plenty of units. So you have the Imperial forces, and you have the American forces, and you have the Australians down here. You have different objectives. So at the moment we have Samoa, New Caledonia, Gilbert Islands, Solomon Islands, and New Guinea. Either contested already. Down here you have actually Australian and Japanese forces in New Guinea. This will be a battle site. And then you've got Gilbert Islands, which is in the hands of the Imperial forces. Solomon Islands is in, there are no troops there. Samoa is also empty of troops, and New Caledonia is also empty of troops. You've got obviously Hawaii as an objective, which is held by the United States. Midway Island, we've got one lone land-based aircraft group here, and then up here we have Alaska. So basically Sarah Palin's safe. We'll make sure that nothing happens to her. So essentially the idea is that you take the role of the American and Allied forces, and the AI controls the Imperial forces, and in order to know what the AI is doing, you roll on an orders list, which is on this side of the map. You can't see it, but you roll a d10 for each of these, and this is going to take a long time. Actually, just moving these and determining the orders for each of these combat areas will, for each of these troops will take a long time. So basically, if I were to start, let's say, and this is not what I'm going to do because I am going to use scouting, but just for your information, let's say I'm going to check what the Japanese are going to do in the Caroline Islands. I'm going to roll a die. I get an 8. 8 tells me engage, which means you move towards the closest US forces and you send 3 ships and 1 infantry, which isn't happening in this case because there's only 1 battalion there, and you can't move out the last ground-based assortment of troops. So they're going to get a chip to begin with to ensure that I'm not even accidentally trying to move them. So everybody who is not going to move gets one of these red chips. They don't come with the game. I saw this, I think Derek uses chips because they come, the game comes with moved markers. The problem is you can't really see what's below them because the moved markers are just chits. So this actually is a way of seeing what you won't be moving. While marking it as moved. So that's a very good idea. So I got a couple of red, yellow and blue chips. That's quite handy. So basically then you would say, okay, 8 is engage closest US forces. So you move 3 ships, and these are all randomized stacks, 1, 2, 3, to the closest enemy units. And this in this case would be New Guinea. So they would be going to New Guinea. And you also say, okay, 1 infantry, which we can't, and move 2 land-based aircraft if there are Japanese forces in the target area, which is true, but we don't have any land-based aircraft, so we can't bring them with us. So then we would have to roll for these 2. We roll again, we roll a 2, which means hold. No movement, you gain 1 resupply. So these 2 would actually be stuck here, because it's up to 6 ships, 2 infantry and 3 land-based aircraft, and you would get a resupply point. So this is how the AI works. And then of course you, as the Commander-in-Chief of the Pacific Naval Forces, would then make your decision what you want to do. The idea is to gain as many of these objectives as possible and ensure that the ones you already have are held. You definitely don't want any Japanese to reach the west coast up here, which is slightly out of frame, because when that happens, I think it's an auto lose. Yeah, so this is what I'm going to be playing over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to start today. I'm going to, let's look at outside the window. The weather is looking like it's going to start raining soon, so I'm going to go for my morning walk to get my exercise in, because it's actually quite early. It's not even 10 o'clock yet. And then I'm going to make then I'm going to start directing my forces and trying to stop the Empire from taking over. Oh, and by the way, I will refer to Japan as the Imperial Forces and the Empire, because that is really, I want to make that distinction, because the Second World War was a war between the Imperial Forces and the in the Pacific and the Allies. And of course here you also have like East Asia, which is basically East Asia and Japan are the 2 areas out of which you can move all land-based infantry or all infantry. There is no restriction on moving them out. It is actually only for the other areas. If you have only one infantry unit there, they cannot move out. So everyone else can. So basically I could, in theory, if I got an order up here to move all of these land-based or all of these infantry units out of East Asia, I could do so. Okay, so I hope you will enjoy this. I'm really looking forward to this. I have to say I really love the Commander series. I love Field Commander Alexander. I love Field Commander Napoleon. I didn't go into Rommel because I'm just not interested in that theatre. Well, let's say it's not quite true that I'm not interested in that theatre, but when I watched people playing through the Field Commander Rommel series or episodes, I didn't really enjoy it that much. So, yeah, let's see what we can do here, and I'll talk to you guys later.